Anyone who's watched my videos will know of the work I did during the COVID lockdown to improve access to the neglected heritage gun emplacements on the hillside above the Brixham laboratory. You will also be aware of how I was forced to withdraw from continuing that work as a result of the upsetting events of the 25th of May.
Fucking hell! I'm fucking raging. I'm fucking raging, mate. Boys, you got your fucking child molesting camera out?
Since that date, I've mostly stayed away from the area, not only for my own safety, but moreover because of how painful and upsetting it is for me to see our heritage and everything I've sought to achieve being meticulously and systematically destroyed, unchallenged by the local drug-using youths. In the couple of months that have passed since, to add insult to injury, I was made aware and given sight of comments which had been made on social media suggesting I was to blame for much of the antisocial behaviour and vandalism that had subsequently occurred throughout Battery Gardens. Although deeply upsetting to find myself yet again being blamed for the behaviour of others, I concluded that there was nothing positive for Brixham, the Battery Heritage Group, or the battery itself. Nothing positive could come from attempting to defend myself. So I resolved to just keep quiet and accept this further vilification. However, on Saturday the 8th of August, the following post was made to the Brixham Battery Heritage Group Facebook page.
To let members and the general public know, we had a visit from the park ranger from Torbay Council on Thursday at the battery. He was quite concerned about the unsafe clearance, his words, up to the emergency BOP, as there had been a number of complaints from the general public and the owners of the university building that youths had been throwing stones and other objects at the building and down to the car park. We explained that this work was not carried out by Brixham Battery volunteers, and the warden is now going to request the council now fence off this area before an accident or worse happens. He will be speaking to the person concerned and will take this matter further if he has to. The youths will be dealt with too.
I have to say, I found the almost gloating nature of this post deliberately seeking to blame me for the vandals' behaviour unnecessarily hurtful and insulting. The first person that commented on this post said the following:
"Why penalise the person who cleared the area and made it look better? It was done with the very best of intentions. Surely it's the vandals who need sorting out."
Brixham Battery replied,
in reference to the person concerned, "If he had just cleared the rubbish, I would have been the first to say thank you, as I am sure so would the public. The person was told not to carry out this work as the area is a danger to the public."
Okay, let me pause things right there. This is the reason that I'm making this video. This is the reason that I feel that I have been forced to make this video. The statement, "the person was told not to carry out this work as the area is a danger to the public." I'm sorry, that's not true. That's simply not true. That's a lie. When I started doing this work, out of courtesy, I felt it necessary to inform the battery of what I was doing. So what I did, on multiple occasions, a handful of occasions, was I private messaged the battery group and sent them links to relevant videos on YouTube which showed significant periods of progress. You know, cutting the paths up, taking the foliage out, all that. So, you know, out of respect for their organisation, I kept them fully informed of what was going on. via the detailed YouTube videos. At no point in our exchanges in private messages, I'm not going to go through them all, but there was a period of time there was quite a few backwards and forwards, different questions I had, different reasons to communicate with them. In none of the messages that passed between us, and I've just been back through them all, I don't delete anything, I've learned not to. In none of those messages, not once did they ask or demand that I stop doing what I was doing. Not once. Not in face-to-face conversation with some of the members. A couple of them I think I bumped into whilst I was up there working. No one said stop. No one. No one. I even had communication with English Heritage. I was not told to stop. So this is why this video exists. This is why I'm outraged, so outraged, that it's not enough that I can be blamed for these yobs trashing the place, but they've got to lie to make that stick. They got to lie. I can't stay silent when people are acting like this. The person was told not to carry out this work as the area is a danger to the public. Liar. Liar.
He was also offered to become a member and could volunteer to help us, but he refused and said he would go ahead and would not tell us what he was doing in future.
Yeah, all of that, absolutely true. I have absolutely no wish to become a member. The reasons are my own. But they seem to wield that as though it's something to be ashamed of or something that I should be held to account for. I've got no interest in being a member. I've had an uneasy relationship with these people, in my mind, ever since they tore out all the seats from the gun emplacements. I find that hard to fathom. Not only did they tear out the seats, they threw them down the slope in front and just left it in the undergrowth, left all the timbers in the undergrowth. A lot of the rubble from the works they've done in the main gun floors just thrown down the slope, A big mess in the undergrowth if you have an eye to see it. So the reasons, I got a great respect for I had great respect for these people, but it's not for everybody being a member. It is also true that I did indeed say I would go ahead and not tell them what I was doing in the future. That needs to be taken in context. It's not quite as simple as what they're suggesting here. When I was in the middle of doing all the work on the hillside, and I did encounter a couple of the members on a couple of occasions, I think it was, the only major objection they seemed to ever spontaneously come up with, was the fact that it wasn't covered by insurance, and their insurance wouldn't cover somebody working alone. Kind of health and safety stuff. That seemed to be their objection. They did not say stop. To me, the beauty of what I was doing was, it was something that needed doing. I was just getting on and doing it, and I wasn't hindered by all of this health and safety nonsense. I wasn't hindered by having to abide by their insurance and working in pairs or whatever, which seemed to me, a very good reason not to be one of the membership. I could just get on and get done what needed to be done, and they could worry about absolving themselves of responsibility by saying it's not us. It seemed to be a perfect answer. I'll get the job done. You can say, well, there's nothing to do with us, but oh look, it's been done great. But going back to the private messaging, that was all very good natured up until around about the 11th of April. There was an exchange. I was asking what route the original paths took and all of this sort of stuff, because I was very sensitive about not doing anything that shouldn't be done. And it was all very good natured, but once again, it ended up with talking about insurance.
Thank you for clearing the brambles, but that should be done but isn't by the council. We maintain the buildings, they maintain the excesses, but I must point out to you, and I am not being funny, but because you're not a member, should you have an accident, we are not responsible. If you wish to become a member in the future, one of the stipulations of our insurance is you don't work alone. We don't wish to play down your enthusiasm, but as chairman I have to make people aware of these facts. Kind regards.
My response to that, which I thought was amusing, was I appreciate your position, all noted. One more reason not to be a member, laughs out loud. Sincere regards. It was very soon after I sent that reply that I had time to reconsider what he had just said. And it concerned me that clearly they were in a better position, denying all responsibility for what I was doing. It made sense for them to be completely innocent of being involved in it for their insurance purposes or whatever that's all about. And it occurred to me that it was inappropriate if they were going to deny any responsibility for what was happening. It was inappropriate for me to continually keep sending them links to the YouTube videos, because there would be obvious evidence that they knew exactly what was going on if there was any problem with their insurance. So soon after, after having thought it through, I thought it best to reply again, and my reply was this. Upon reflection, I thought it courteous to let you know what I've been up to, nothing more. I do not wish to cause you any difficulties, therefore I shall refrain from informing you further. Regards. Quite innocent. I thought I was actually doing them a favour. They knew by now, because of all the links that I'd been sending, that I was documenting in detail everything I was doing on YouTube. They knew where the YouTube videos were being put. If they wanted to silently keep up with everything I was doing, they could do so. So I wasn't stomping off in a huff. I was doing it for their benefit. But no, that's being held against me now. It's the way they're putting it out there. It's like a very different set of circumstances.
The youths have caused a lot of damage and will be dealt with accordingly. The council will now have to pay out to fence off this area to stop the youths throwing stones into the car park and also throwing stones at the university building. The volunteers have been working in the gardens to replace damage to the gun floors area and graffiti on the paintwork.
There was another comment and a similar reply.
As a visitor, we thought the clearance of overgrowth has revealed some interesting parts of the battery that were unseen before. Also, all the rubbish was cleared away, which is a hazard to the wildlife, etc. It's the continuous vandalism that wants stopping.
I appreciate your comments. We have not carried out work on this area due to the area being unsafe and dangerous to the public. Now this has happened and the youths have got access. The youths will be dealt with accordingly. The council are now having to pay out to fence off this area. There are many people who clear up the rubbish, which we are thankful. Unfortunately, this person was asked not to do the work and offered him to join us as a volunteer, but he declined and advised us he wouldn't tell us what he was doing in future. Hopefully now the park ranger is back in the gardens and the battery volunteers will be working more in the gardens, we will be able to clamp down on some of the issues we are having. The police have been informed too.
Unsafe and dangerous to the public. This is how I left it. It's safer than Berry Head. Safer than any number of sites around Battery Gardens. Safer than the steps down to Fishcombe. It is only unsafe because of the actions of the local yobs who have destroyed it. They have destroyed it.